good, YouTube? It's your man, Uncle Demi, and I'm here once again with another banger for you. Believe it or not, we're at volume 64, and I have a really special build for y'all today. The secondary ball handler has been a build that has been literally avoiding me from day one. So I've made the secondary ball handler build like literally when I was in my the prelude, right? So in the prelude, I did make the secondary ball handler build. I saved it, and then when I tried to make it again, I could not make it, right? And what was crazy was the reason why I could not make it, because if you do not know, NBA 2K, they do updates and they start changing things around, and all of a sudden what you initially had as a build, or you thought you had as a build, when you go back and try to make it again, you didn't. So of course I had to play around with it once more, and I did find a way to get the secondary ball handler build back. Now, the secondary ball handler is a very unique build. It's very rare. I have not seen it at all in the park, and I wouldn't say it's like on the same level as a prospect or a rugged wing, right, or a rugged guard. But I will say this, is that it is definitely 100% playable. It is definitely could be used as in the park with the right teammates. This is one of the builds that you need to have the right people around you, and you could be very successful with it because it can do a lot of things that you would expect a secondary ball handler to do, and even some things that you wouldn't expect, right? So let's go ahead and hop right into it, man. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about, all right? So the first thing you want to do is you want to get the peer playmaking pie chart. There is another way you can make it, but I feel like this is the best for obvious reasons. You're a secondary ball handler, so you definitely want to have the playmaking pie chart so you can have the playmaking badges, obviously, right? Next, what you want to do is you want to go to the bottom pie chart here at the bottom to be well-rounded. This build is definitely could be played at the 3, which I recommend you playing this build at the 3, because obviously you're going to need, you're not going to be as quick. You're not going to be as fast. You're just limited in a lot of ways, and you definitely do not want to be on the perimeter, all right? Now, here, when it comes up here, man, it's kind of just like the play shot creator and the mid-range playmaker that I make. You don't want to allocate a lot of badges up here, right? Because the simple fact is that you're just not going to get the best bang for your buck. So what I did was I just used the remaining badges I had, and then I just go here with 55, 35, 50, right? Then what you want to do is you actually want to max all this out, right? So you can already tell this build is going to be able to shoot, right? Next, what you want to do is you want to go to 68 on your pass accuracy. Anything above that, it will change the name. You want to max out your ball handling in 72. Then you want to go ahead and put your post moves to a 94. So you can already see with the 20 and 15 that you're going to have a lot of badges to be able to play with offensively. So that makes this build really good, because as you know, badges are everything when it comes to this game, and you have enough badges here to make yourself relevant on the court because you can shoot it and you can also post up, right? So like I said, it's not looking bad, right? And then of course the cool thing is that you're able to go ahead and max everything else here, right? So now you get to see that you have 10 defensive badges. And you know, for me, you always want to at least have 9. I always say, hey, you need to have 9 if you want to be a comp player defensively, because there's 3 badges that you always want to have. So I always make sure I have these badges. Listen, guys, my job is just not to throw a rare build out there, right? You see a lot of rare build videos. Let's all keep it real. You see a lot of rare build videos out here, and they literally throw some crap together and the name comes up and they say they made the build. But you can't play with that. Look at this build here and tell me if you cannot play with it. Yes, you can. You can play with it. Is it the greatest build? No, right? But you can play with it. Yes. 15, 20, and 10. That is enough to make yourself very viable when it comes to the park, especially if you have 2 people with you that really can cook up. This is great. This is a great build, all right? Now, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and go with build, all right? I like being bulky. You want to drop yourself down to 6'8". So now your mid-range goes to 78. Your 3-pointers are 71. Your ball handling is a 78. As you see, you have a 78 ball handling, all right? That is something to keep in mind. That is crazy. Then you want to drop your wingspan down to an 81. So now you have an 80 ball handling, right? So now all of a sudden you can be the secondary ball handler that you're supposed to be. A lot of people have these other different type of builds. Like I said, they don't have it like this. This build right here, once again, you can pass this ball off to this guy and he can be able to put the ball on the floor and he can be able to create, especially with the post moves, all right? And he can also be a spot up shooter, right? You cannot ask for anything better than that. And now here you have two choices, which I think is pretty dope. You have post takeover and shot creating takeover. But I think having the shot creating takeover is ridiculous because, of course, once you get takeover with this build, guess what you're able to do? You're able to speed boost. Come on now, talk to me nice. Talk to me nice. Draymond Green is definitely the guy that I thought about when I thought of secondary ball handler. So it's perfect that we have Draymond Green up here. So that means we kind of kill two birds with one stone. Sometimes you make the build and then you don't get the name you're looking for. Well, we got both here, right? So let's go ahead and test it out. Let me show you exactly how you can get crazy with this thing, right? So of course you want to go ahead and get this to 99. All right, so let's get to 99. All right. Here, like I said, just go with contact finisher. All right. Then from your shooting aspect, you want to get your quick draw. You want to get your range extender. You want to get your hot zone. You want to get your catch and shoot. You want to get your corner specialist. And then the last one, what I'm thinking you should get is either your pick and popper if you plan on setting screens, right? I think that's really good. Your pick and popper. Now, or you can go a green machine, all right? Now, if you're not going to be in a corner, and I think this is what I want to get into. So if you're dealing with a player that doesn't ISO, and that means you're going to be out and about, that means I would say you definitely want to take your pick, get your pick popper. Take your pick popper. You can either get it to gold or just go ahead and put it on green machine. So if you're going to be on the ball setting screens and stuff, then I think this would be the best, right? Now, maybe Deadeye, right? You can probably go with Deadeye if you want to go with Deadeye. But I think Green Machine is pretty good. But I would say either Deadeye or Green Machine when it comes to doing on-ball screens. If you're going to be in a corner, then I think getting corner specialist is good on silver. Again, NBA 2K Lab says silver corner specialist is the best bang for your buck. Obviously, I would love to get these a Hall of Fame if I could, but I can't. But I do know range extender, hot zone hunter, and catch and shoot are some of the most important badges. And I like mine's on silver, so if you want to go to gold, go ahead. But I think it's really cool to go silver with this. So I think this will be a really good badges allocated for someone that's doing ISO in the corner. And if you want to go ahead and have somebody that's doing on ball, maybe Green Machine or Deadeye, all right? Now here, this is where things can get really cool. So of course, you're a secondary ball handler, so go ahead and get your dimer, right? You also want to get your post spin, because if you are going to be setting up the post spin, right? And then you also want to go and get your floor general, because you are a secondary ball handler, which is really dope, right? My last one, okay, and then you want to go ahead and get your quick first step, all right? So this is where I was having a hard time trying to figure out. You don't need handles for days because you're not going to be dribbling like crazy, right? You don't need unpluckable. You don't need tight handles. You're not doing that. Space Creator, I was like, you know what? Space Creator wouldn't be bad, especially when I get takeover. But let's be honest. Remember, I always say use badges that you know you're going to be actually using in the game. If you're going to be setting screens all day, trust me, your point guard and your two guard is not going to be having you trying to ISO up, right? It ain't going to happen, right? We're trying to win games here. So then for me, what I'm thinking would be the best thing would be to either go needle threader, all right, downhill, all right, or bailout. Okay, so those are the only ones that I'm thinking would be the best. Bailout is a really good badge if you like. If you're always catching in the corner and you got to shoot it, and then all of a sudden you throw it out. So I think bailout will be really good, and also I think needle threader will be really good, right? But it's pretty dope for your secondary ball handler to be able to have Hall of Fame dimer and floor general, post spin technician, and quick first step. I think those badges will be perfect. All right. And then from the defensive standpoint, of course, you always want to go with clamps. All right. You want to go with your intimidator. You want to go with your rebound chaser. Now, this is the only thing that I was talking about is if you're going to be, this is what I say that you should do if you're going to be in the corner a lot. But if you're setting on-ball screens, then of course you need to get your brick wall, and then you have to max that out. All right, you have to have gold brick wall if you're setting screens for your point guard. So you got to have that. Clamps is something really good to have. Intimidators really have. You got to have your intimidator and your rebound chaser. Brick wall or clamps, or it'd be nice to have both, right? But in this case, we don't have both. So this is what you have to go with. Get your bronze clamps, which is still helping a little bit, or at least activate it in a way where you can hedge enough to be able to let your guard get back into position. So I think that would be the best badge to have in that case. Other badges that you could think of, especially if you're doing twos, is get your moving truck and your post move lockdown. These two builds right here is really solid. Obviously you want to make sure that you allocate those. So this would be gold, that would be gold. You still want to try to get your brick wall will have to be off on this one. So I wouldn't say that this is necessarily a 2v2 type build, because it just ain't enough. Now maybe if you played the one and you ran with a center with this build, then that might be a little bit doper. Actually, no, I like that. Actually, I do like that. I like that, because if you did that, then you will have, like I said, you'll be really good down low at the post, and then you can have your center or stretch or somebody out there, so you can ISO up with him down low. So actually, I like that. So then, you won't have to worry about changing anything other than, since you're going to be the one ISOing, if you're running twos, then you definitely can get your clamps up to go, and maybe get chased down just to get the animation. So that's pretty dope, right? So you can get creative with it. Again, like I said, it's all about how you're going to use your build when you're playing. Don't just get badges just to get it. So as I started talking, I realized, like, well, shit, let's not worry about being the two. Let's worry about being the one if you're on a 2v2. So there you go. So that will probably be the best thing for this build, is to be doing on the 2v2 court. You want to make sure you run the one, because it just works better based upon what your attributes have, right? All right, guys. So there you have it, right? You have the secondary ball handler build. I feel like this is definitely, again, a very solid build that you could use and dominate with in the right hands, making sure you're doing the right schemes. Like, let's be honest, man, there's nothing really bad about this build, especially on offensively, because you have so many good badges to use and to work with. So again, this is the build that I say will be one of those builds that if somebody does get this build to 99, I really wish and hope somebody can get the build 99, max out the badges, because I really am interested in running with this build. So I'm talking to all my nephews and nieces out there. Can you please, one of y'all, hit me up and say, yo, I will take the responsibility to grind this thing out to 99, so then I can run with y'all on stream. This would be really fun to have the content to get a video up like that. So please, one of y'all, please step up. Hit me up on Twitter. Follow me at Uncle Demi on Twitter, man, and send me a DM, and I would definitely reply back, because I really want to have this build on my team running. So please, if one of y'all out there, please do that for me. And other than that, guys, man, this your boy Uncle Demi. I'll be back really soon with another banger, right?
If he caught for a low, we gon' give it to him. Take the stop out the top of no transformer. Remember ducking and dodging on every corner. Doing flip with a beat like a mighty morpher. Told myself to get rich and go help.